Welcome. If there's anyone here for the first time, special welcome to you. Really great to have you joining us. And Dermot, great to rejoin Mindful Reality as I recover from a wonderful but full-on family wedding. And Nadine, hi from London. Happy to see you all. And Katya, good evening from Switzerland. I'm glad to be back after a long time. Good. Oh, I've got a very uncomfortable stomach. I had a massive ice cream followed by a mess of curry. That's really not a good mixture of things to have back to back. I'm just discovering. This is where you thank goodness for elasticated trousers. Oh, good. And then we got Emma. Hello from Powell River, British Columbia, Canada. Also glad to be here after a while, not being able to attend. Good. Okay. So look, it's 7. So maybe I'll just wait 1 or 2 minutes more for anyone coming in. And for those of us already here, as I said, just checking that you've got a chair where you'll be as comfortable as possible. You blanket if you need one. If you're lying down, that you've got what you need. Got Lorian saying, just sitting charging my car. Grateful for the chance to finally have one and help the environmental movement. That's good. It looks like you might have air conditioning on, Lorian. Looking like you're very comfortable, so that's good. And Linda, hello from Abingdon and Oxfordshire. Dermot saying your stomach is displaying mindful perception. That is true. Very aware of sensations there. And it will pass like everything else, thank goodness. Okay, good. So let's begin. So very, very warm welcome, everybody. Fantastic to have you here. And yeah, before we start tonight, I'm going to tell you something super exciting. I think it's very exciting that next week we're launching a brand new program at Breathworks that I've been working on for probably 3 years, something like that. And it's an 11-week program. We call it the HEALS course, which is an acronym for healthy nutrition, engaging with movement, awareness, which is the foundation, love for self, others, and nature, and sleep. So it's applying mindfulness to other domains of well-being, very much based on my own experience of living with my spinal injury for very, very like 50 years nearly. And just making small, consistent changes across this broad front of all these different areas of exercise and movement and nutrition, sleep hygiene, these kind of things. It's had an extraordinarily good benefit on me. So the way I manage my condition now is unimaginably better than 40, 30 years ago. So I've been working on this program for a long time. I've done 3 pilots. Some of you were on one of the pilots. We've evaluated, we've made some adjustments along the way, depending on feedback, and then we're now ready to do our public launch, which will be next week. And we're expecting it to be very popular. So we're going to give anyone tonight who's interested, we're giving you the opportunity to register a day early than we launch it to the public if you're interested. So Mark's going to put a link in the chat box, which is a link where you can register your interest, or you could just put yes in the chat box if you're interested, and then you'll be emailed the link tomorrow. So yeah, we're calling it Mindfulness-Based Lifestyle Medicine, the HEALS program. And we'll tell you about it at the end of the session as well. Because obviously you don't really want to be going into links and chat box now. So I'm telling you now, but we'll also give you the opportunity to click on the link at the end of the session as well. Okay, good. So I was thinking about what practice to do today, and we're going to do a middle way practice, which is very, very important when we're working with the mind, working with our habits, working with our emotional life and our body. very often we go to one extreme or the other. Either we suppress or we get overwhelmed. Broadly speaking, those are the two kind of patterns that we have. And we can do that in relation to any kind of discomfort. Either we sort of just push it away and pretend it's not happening and we get a bit lifted out of the body, alienated from the body, or we get overwhelmed. And the only thing is our difficulty. We can do that with our emotions. We can do that with our thoughts. We can do it with our behavior. Either we're sort of pushing at things or we're just feeling exhausted and unable to function the way we would like to. So what we're trying to do is always find the middle way between extremes. And if we can rest in the middle way, rest in this place where we're not tipping into these sort of reactive stances, then we can release into a quality of awareness that's fluid and open, soft, present, and confident. I think learning to find this middle way between extremes also really breeds confidence, because we feel confident that we can manage ourselves. And then we also release into feeling much more connected with life itself. So we're going to do that practice today. Yeah, the sort of middle way practice. So if you haven't been before, you just follow along. I'll guide the meditation. Follow along as best you can. If you get lost, or perhaps I should say when you get lost, because that's what happens with awareness, we drift off. You just notice that with kindness and come back to the practice. Okay, good. So if you get yourself set up, if you're sitting, I suggest an upright chair if possible. If you need to lean back in a chair, that's fine. But a posture where your body will feel dignified, your mind will feel as dignified as possible. Have the hands supported so you're not holding on in your shoulders. And then resting into the chair. If you're lying down, then having your head supported in such a way where your head's not tipping forwards or backwards, but your head's supported. And if you want to, you could close your eyes. I always like to close my eyes. Helps my awareness settle, but of course you could just lower your gaze if you'd rather. And I've got a poem from Rumi as well, which really talks about this middle way very well. It's called Bird Wings. Your grief for what you've lost lifts a mirror up to where you're bravely working. Expecting the worst, you look, and instead, here's the joyful face you've been wanting to see. Your hand opens and closes, and opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding. The two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. To begin with, let's allow the weight of the body to rest down into the support beneath us, whether we're sitting or lying. Having a sense of the weight of the body yielding down into the earth beneath us. So letting go of gripping, of holding on, and finding a quality of rest and being held, receiving the support of the chair or the bed, the floor, the planet. And as we let go downwards in this way, sort of yielding and resting, we may have a sense of the body expanding a little bit into length and space. Perhaps a sense of poise in the upper half of the body if we're sitting, and the head poised on top of the neck. We're lying down, a quality of release in the whole body. And allowing awareness to pour down inside the body and to fill the legs and the feet. See if we can allow our awareness to rest right inside the feet and the legs. Feeling sensation, temperature, buzzing, tingling, numbness, dullness. Contact with the bed or the chair. And seeing if we can simply receive these impressions, these sensations into awareness. Neither contracting against the unpleasant nor chasing after the pleasant, but finding this middle way of awareness flowing through the moments. And the buttocks resting into the chair, into the bed, letting the buttocks be soft. Maybe noticing breathing dropping a little bit deeper in the body as we soften in the buttocks. Hips soft. And allowing awareness to pour up inside the torso, the belly and the chest and the whole back of the body, the sides of the body. The inside of the torso, the surface of the torso. Opening a little bit in all directions on the in-breath and subsiding a little bit in all directions on the out-breath. And seeing if we can be open to all of our experience. If there's pain or discomfort, noticing if you're pushing it away in your awareness, or if you're tipping into overwhelm as if it's the only thing. And seeing if we can find this middle way where we let it into awareness and we let it flow out of awareness moment by moment. Allowing our awareness to be kind and loving and caring towards whatever's arising. For a pleasant experience, maybe you notice there's a grasping quality. You want more of it. And in that grasping, of course, very often the pleasant feelings fade away. So again, seeing if we can simply let them arise into awareness and then flow out of awareness moment by moment. Coming to the shoulders. And letting the arms fall away from the shoulders, having the hands supported. Letting the arms rest into gravity. And seeing if we can let the arms just fall away from the shoulders rather than gripping onto them with effort. And letting the awareness fill the shoulders, the arms and the hands. Receiving awareness vividly, and then, or receiving experience into awareness vividly, and then letting it fade away moment by moment. Finding this space, not suppressing, not getting overwhelmed, not pushing away, not grasping, just resting in the fluid arising and passing of experience in the arms and the hands and the shoulders. Allowing awareness to flow back up through the arms, the shoulders, and to feel the neck and the head. Looking for softness, poise, balance. Letting the mouth, lips, jaw be soft, tongue soft in the mouth, cheeks soft, eyes soft, forehead soft. Feeling into the physicality of the head as a limb of the body. And broadening to be aware of the whole body. This cloud of sensations arising and passing, arising and passing. Some of them unpleasant, some of them pleasant, some of them dull, some of them intense, some of them very faint or even numb. If we're tending to block, to suppress, to contract against sensation, then in noticing, perhaps we can just soften a little bit, open our awareness a little bit. Or if we're overwhelmed by any particular sensations and particular part of the body, we could perhaps broaden our awareness to be aware of the whole body. And let's include our emotional experience as well. Just opening up to our emotional weather. How are we feeling right now? Might be clear, might be confused, might be intense, might be dull. It doesn't matter. Seeing if we can find this middle way between suppression and overwhelm, where we're vividly present with a broad, kindly awareness and feeling into flow. Now let's broaden and just rest inside all of our experience physically, emotionally, mentally. And training in this broad, receptive, fluid awareness, this middle way between extremes of denial, overwhelm, pushing away, or somehow getting lost. We notice we're overwhelmed and we can broaden. If we're feeling a bit cut off, then very gently, with each breath, coming a little closer, feeling into experience. what's happening now. If you've wandered far away, then in the noticing, you can choose to come back inside the body, inside the flow of experience, inside emotions, thoughts. And looking for this middle way. Not suppressing, not getting lost, but resting in the flow of experience, arising and passing, arising and passing. Vividly alive without getting sort of stuck to different experiences. Now checking that we're still grounded in the body, feeling the weight of the body resting down into the chair or the bed, the floor. Breathing in the whole body, sensations in the whole body. Including the world around us, letting in sounds. What's it like to receive sounds into awareness rather than chase after them or get lost in them? So we're staying grounded and embodied, and then the outside world is coming in. This place of stability within us. We'll very gently bring the meditation to a close. So you could open your eyes, look around, bringing a little bit of movement into the body, maybe the fingers, toes. Just moving a little bit, coming into bigger movements. Stretching if you want to. And then when you're ready, coming back to the screen. Good, really wonderful to practice with you all this evening. And for those of you who are here for the first time, I always stay on for a little bit and people write in the chat box what they noticed, what they experienced, if they want to. And Mark, if you also put in, there we are, you put that in already. If you want to register your interest for this new course and have the opportunity to book the day before, public bookings, then there's the link. And again, you can put yes, and we'll email you details. Good. Yeah, it's very beautiful here, actually. I've got all the windows open because it's quite warm, and there's a sense of the outside world flowing in that practice. So we've got Victoria saying, deep gratitude for this practice of the middle way. This past week and ongoing has been a situation of complete overwhelm with moments of refuge and denial. It hasn't worked at all to live in the extremes, and I'm immensely grateful for the wisdom of this practice. Well, that's beautifully put, Victoria. I'm sorry to hear that's been your experience, but that's what we do, isn't it? We go into overwhelm and then we just back off to cutting off, denial, and then that doesn't work either. So we go back into overwhelm. So neither strategy is particularly life enhancing. It's and it doesn't build confidence, I don't think. So that's really wonderful what you've said, Victoria. It sounded like you were able to touch into the middle way. And I hope next week's a bit easier for you. So lots of thank yous. Lorian, thank you, very relaxing. I'm afraid I drifted off a few times, but I at least came back, thanks to Mark. Yes, so that's well said, Lorian, because what I often like to say is when we notice that we're lost, that's our moment of mindfulness. So rather than thinking, oh no, I was lost, I wasn't mindful, you think, wow, I noticed I was lost, I was mindful. And then that gives you this choice point. And mindfulness gives choice. And if we're able to have a stream of mindfulness in the day, we're able to make wiser and wiser choices. So you came back. That was your wise choice, Lorian. And Christoph, thank you so much for that beautiful moment of connection. And Helen, so relaxing, just needed that. Really good to remember the middle way rather than swinging to extremes. Yeah, good. I hope you're able to take that into your evening or day, Helen. Emma, thank you. Beautiful practice. Metta to all. Alison, thank you so much. That was a spacious oasis in a very difficult day, very much in the realm of extremes. So your words have really landed. I hope your difficult day gets less difficult, Alison. And Aline, thank you. I love joining tonight. I have a cough, but managed to relax. Yeah, see, that's a middle way thing, isn't it? Because when we're coughing, we can end up then coughing more and more. We get anxious about coughing, or we don't want to cough and we start suppressing and then we cough more. So yeah, being able to relax when you've got a tendency to cough is really good. And Lizzie, my mind was wandering and my legs weren't far behind. Then I fell asleep, but can now feel the benefit. Yeah, it's so interesting when we go to sleep in a meditation, there is still something that happens, I think. And I think in a guided meditation, the words are still going in on some level. I think that's how it works. And thank you. Just what I need as I am going through a phase of wobbling off away from the middle way. Yes, that's what we do. Wobbling off away from the middle way. Mm. Yeah, that's well put as well. So I hope that this has given you a little bit of a nudge back to the middle again, Dermot. And then Heather, you said to allow things to come into awareness and then let them go. How do you do that? Okay, that's a great question. So it's a little bit like awareness is always here. And then in a moment, in any moment, there's the arising of sensation, thoughts, emotions. And then very often what we do is we sort of latch onto them and then we get into a tussle with them one way or the other. So you sort of allow experience in all its vividness. But imagine what it'd be like if you didn't then sort of over-identify with the content, but you just let it pour through the moment. Just like the breath arises and passes, arises and passes. So experience arises and then you don't, you neither push it away nor cling, and then there's more experience pouring in. So it's a little bit like if we don't get tangled up with experience, we can then allow the next moment to arrive, and the next one, and the next one. So we're living in this sort of sense of vivid presence rather than getting caught up in sort of either pushing away experience or grasping after experience. So I hope that's helpful, Heather. Kathy, grateful for this time, much more peaceful, spacious after a stressful day and some overwhelm earlier. And Valerie, I felt very aware for once, and then a smiley face. So grateful. And then Heather, I wonder if Rumi was seeking the middle way, or it just came to him through his verse. That's a good question, because we never really know with poets, do we? You know, what motivated that particular poem. But Rumi was a really wonderful Sufi poet, very, very strong spiritual life. So he's usually trying to express deeper truths through imagery and so on. And then Mark saying lots of thanks for my YouTube community. That's nice. Hello, YouTube people. Nice to have you there. And Teresa, thank you. Some distraction from my restless legs, but good to expand awareness away from them. Yeah, so that's definitely a choice that we have. If we're feeling overwhelmed, then we can broaden awareness rather than staying caught up with that difficult experience. Let's see if we can broaden awareness rather than to sort of push the rest. You wouldn't, rather than sort of pushing the restless legs out of awareness, it's more that you broaden awareness so they're taking place in a bigger field. Because if you push them away, then you're back into attention again. So expand awareness away from them. That's good. And Claire, thank you for that peaceful and reassuring practice. It made me feel more accepting and calm towards my weird long COVID twitches, which I often find really disturbing. I'll try and carry this calmness with me. Thank you to Mark. Good. And Paul, thank you. Our first visit was very enjoyable. Oh, that's great, Paul. So big welcome to you. And then Nat is saying, like watching waves come in and go out. It's exactly that. Yeah, we let experience come in and go out, like waves on a beach. And then Kalpana on YouTube says, thank you, Vidyamala, for a beautiful meditation and love the poem. Metta to you all. And then Victoria is saying, what was the poem? I lost sound for a bit. It's called Bird Wings by Rumi. Bird Wings. So you could just look that up. And then Sarah is saying cloud of awareness is a lovely image. It is, isn't it? Cloud of awareness. Because of course clouds they don't have any hard edges at all, do they? It's just this kind of almost sort of I don't know what the word is. I'm looking for a word that I can't recall right now, but they haven't got hard edges. They look solid, but if you tried to grab a handful of clouds, you'd come away empty-handed. So this idea of just receiving awareness without sort of fixating around it. Good. Okay. So look, that's the end of the comments. Fluffy, Helene is saying, that's nice. Yeah. So I see there's lots of yeses, which is brilliant about the new course. And hopefully some of you have followed the links and you'll be sent details and it will be launched to the public next week. And you get you get a day before if you're interested. So that's good. Okay, lovely. So we'll see you all next week and see if you can stay in the middle way as much as possible, which really means in practice, noticing when you've either got overwhelmed or you're sort of avoiding experience, you notice that and then you come back to something a bit more fluid and open. That's the practice. But nobody stays in the middle way all the time. You might be reassured to hear, but we get better and better at catching ourselves when we're falling away from things. Excellent. So see you all next week and thanks so much. And thank you, Mark. And if you want to unmute to say goodbye to one another, then please do so.
Bye.
Be kind to yourselves
Bye.
first.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Everyone,
Bye.
take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see you all.